it's Sheila and Andy from Toy Pianista. And to celebrate the release of the Flight of the Conchords' new album, I told you I was freaky. We want to offer this iApp tutorial and a breakdown of the sequencer patterns we use to mimic or cover their title track. And we used the Nintendo DS, and we also used the KORG DS10 software, or game, if you will. The various devices that we used for the freaky sound may seem like a daunting collection of wires and gadgets, but I just want to tell you what it was. It's very straightforward. First off, we're musicians, so we like to stay in tune. So we use the KORG chromatic tuner, and you know, all these electronic instruments, well, they're all perfectly in tune. So we just like to turn on the button and watch the lights, but I don't want this to disturb anybody right now, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off, and I'll get that feather off of there. And another great device that we used was the Olympus digital voice recorder, and this is really great, and it comes with a USB and it downloads straight into your laptop. And the best feature of all that we'll actually be using in this demonstration, in this tutorial, is this orange light, and there it is right now, the orange light. And a true classic, I'm going to put this down, but a true classic non-digital component is this GTE caller ID, and as you can see, we've had 11 new calls tonight, so that makes us quite popular. And it's currently connected to our kitchen phone landline, which so we won't be patching it into the DS right away. But anyway, I am told that any caller device can be used provided it was manufactured before 1991, which this one was. So keep that in mind when you're making your own setup. And a lot of conversation, I mean a lot of conversation has happened at some point, I'm assuming, in tech circles about amplifying wireless capabilities. And although we're using the Nintendo DS, the Wii handset is also a Nintendo device, which coincidentally is designed to work as a wireless remote. So simply placing two of these Wii remotes side by side amplifies the wireless presence on this little stage immensely, perhaps 2 or 3 times. So try this in your own studio. I'm sure you'll be able to amplify your wireless presence there. And please do not forget the dubbed video dub the video dub cables for proper media sharing. And this is the hardware. This is the electrical heart known as the slider. And it is also a light dimmer. But it did come straight from the hardware store, complete with 3 patch cables. And you could probably patch this into any of these electronic devices seen here that have a circuit board, and you must use solder to do that. And the best feature of the slider is that it's free floating, so you could slide it, say, left to right, or perhaps up and down. You know, it's your choice, really. For those of you who were lucky enough to purchase the iPhone, I just wanted to say that this is not an iPhone. This is, I don't even know. It says it's a Motorola. I don't even know how to charge this phone. But for those of you who were lucky enough to purchase the iPhone, I want you to know that you could automatically now, if you set the iPhone on top of any analog recording device, the iPhone can now convert analog recording straight to digital just by touching it. But I have had some reports come in from some Yaris owners saying that the iPhone is sliding down in between their seats, the front seats of the Yaris vehicle. So I want to assure them that technology moves quickly and something will be developed to solve this problem. But for now, you might want to try just sewing on bigger pockets to your jacket. Finally, I want to say that I like flashcards. There has been some great heated pedagogical debate about the use of flashcards with your students, and that's why I just want to say I don't use flashcards with my students, but I like to use them personally before and during performances. And these are the 3 flashcards that I used for the freaky sequencing. Poco, Loco, and my favorite, PU. Now I use PU probably the most, and I want to say that I just used it today, as a matter of fact, exiting the bathroom. But mostly I use them to improve my spelling. Those were just some little thoughts that I wanted to share with you. I think we're just about ready here to break down these patterns. And if you're anything like me, you've collected a lot of recording sequencing devices which have gone the way of the Dolby. And speaking of which, this gaming amp apparently has all of the great Dolby functionality without the familiar Dolby trademark. But you can see here that it can be red or blue. Red or blue. So I picked this up last month, trying to get all of my old sequencers talking to my new devices, but alas, the iPhone has made it obsolete with its instantaneous converting by way of osmotic touch, you know? It's so impressive. But I'm going to go ahead and keep this in its original packaging to perhaps sell it to a collector one day in the distant future. Since you'll be sequencing drum beats, I think that, now what did I do with my Congo DVD? Ah, here it is. Since you'll be working with drum beats, I highly recommend viewing this DVD. It's very colorful, it's upbeat. I haven't opened it yet, but I did pay $19.95 for it. So it must be very, very good. And another thing is, I think the biggest task of sequencing is finding the lick. And the lick in I Told You I Was Freaky is, well, you probably know it as, but I prefer to play it as, yeah, the other way is too complex, and I know my own skill level, so instead of, I choose just, no, I like it this way, because, you know, less is more, and that's an important thing to remember in sequencing. Less is more. So here are the patterns. Let's see, what do we have here? We opened, let me mute that just for a second. We opened with this drum beat. Hope you can get that. It's really, really warm. And then we went ahead and added some synths to that. And then we had, you know, here I am all dressed in snakeskin. Let's see. Sold my underpants on eBay. I think that was that. Sold my underpants on eBay. We went into Told You I Was Freaky. One of these was, I believe, He Told You He Was Freaky Baby. You know, back and forth in between those two for the I Told You I Was Freaky, Take This Off, all about that. And then suddenly a buzzer, a couple of little tingling glasses, and repeated that for each verse and chorus. You know, until the very end when we had this, ow, 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 and then we finished it with the tinglies. Told you I was freaky baby, baby, baby. So that was the entire thing. And here are some of the patterns that we didn't use. Some of the patterns that didn't make it well. As cute as that is, didn't make the cut. A little fuzzy. And definitely not this. No. I don't even know who got into the machine to write that. That was just terrible. Well, anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this I Told You I Was Freaky iApp tutorial. And we just want to say thanks a lot. Okay, Justin. Bye-bye.
Okay, Justin, bye-bye.